Hello and welcome back. Today we have a groundbreaking poll which shows that Winston Peters is rapidly catching up to Christopher Luxon on the preferred Prime Minister poll and what exactly this all means for the upcoming November election. So let's look first at the party vote. Labour's coming in first with 35.6%, up 0.6, which would leave them with 44 seats. Now, one interesting thing to note is that this was about 50% of the way through interviewing the people in the poll that the news regarding Chris Hipkins' ex broke. So this appears to have not impacted Labour at all, which will be a great sign for Labour as they head towards the election. National, they're on 30.8%, down 1.1%, and that leaves them with 38 seats. New Zealand First, they're coming third with 10.6%, up 0.8%, which will leave them with 13 seats. The Greens are coming in fourth with 10.1%, up 0.5, leaves them with 12 seats. Then we have ACT on 7%, down 0.6%, leaves them with 9 seats. Te Pāti Māori on 3.2%, up 0.1%, and that leaves them with 4 seats. And others, 2.7%, which includes the Opportunity Party, which are on 2%. Overall, the other parties are down 0.4%, and there's no seats. Now, looking at how pollsters feel, or the people in the poll feel that the direction of the country is going, half of them think that it's going in the wrong direction, which is up 3.4% since January. Those who feel that it's going in the right direction, only 32.3%, which is down 4%. And those who are not sure, it's on 17.7%, up 0.6%. So not great signs for the coalition. Now, if we gather all the votes of the left blocks and the right blocks, we get Labour, Greens, and Te Pāti Māori. They're on 48.9%, which leaves them with 60 seats, which is up 1.3 since January and up 5 seats since the last election. The current government, National, New Zealand First and ACT, they're on 48.4%, only 0.5 below the opposition, again with 60 seats, down 0.9% and down 7 seats. Now you might be wondering, why has the government lost 7 seats, but the opposition has only picked up 5? That is because Te Pāti Māori currently has, had 6 seats because they got an overhang in 2 electorates. But given that now two of the MPs are basically ditching the party, it is unlikely that they would win those electorates back, especially in a general, as those 2 people, Marimino Kapakingi and Te Kuta Ferris, would likely run again and split the vote for Te Pāti Māori, so you can't really say that they're going to pick up those 6 seats again. And looking at the other parties, including the Opportunity Party, they're on 2.4%, down 0.4, and no change. So, third Prime Minister. Now this is where the big humdinger of this poll comes in. So coming in first again, Chris Hipkins, 0.7%, down 0.4, which may be attributed to his ex-wife's comments. However, it's within the margin of error, so we can assume that nothing has really changed. But looking at coming second, Christopher Luxon with 17.3%. Now this is a drop of 2.1%, and is the lowest that a sitting Prime Minister has ever received, apart from Jenny Shipley, who got 15%. But moving on, Winston Peters is coming third for 13.1%, up 0.5. Now, if you look back to the Jenny Shipley poll that had her at 15% while she was the Prime Minister, the next coming in third in that same poll was 6% with Jim Anderton, who is not only 9 points below her, but is also left wing, much more left wing than the Labour Party, so not really pushing her from the right side. Meanwhile, with Christopher Luxon, Winston Peters is only 4% behind him, and he's in the same coalition as him. Now, this is a very serious threat to Christopher Luxon, which is continuing, as we've seen in other polls, that National are going down, particularly as we saw with the Courier poll and other polling, as the Talbot Mills poll, which had Winston also on 13%, but Luxon on 22%. So this is more proof that things aren't going great for Luxon. Just one thing I want to add before we move on. With the current polling of Winston at 13 and Luxon at 17, if we take into account the margin of error, Luxon and Winston are essentially tied. Moving on, Chloe Swarbrick, she is on 6.8%, up 0.8%, and David Seymour, he is on 6.8%, up 0.1%. So now the real question is, who could potentially replace Luxon to save National's polling? And this is where the news becomes a little bit sobering or humbling for National. Erica Sanford is on 1.4%. She is up 0.2%, but not exactly high remarks from the electorate. And below her is Chris Bishop, who is on 6.0%, down 1.3%. Now, Erica Sanford, she is currently the Minister of Education and the Minister of Immigration, while Chris Bishop, he is Leader of the House, so his job is that he organises what is called the Order Paper, which sets out what the government is going to pass during each sitting of Parliament, and he is also the Minister of Housing. But this is not the only political shockwave involving National and New Zealand First, as we have former National Minister Alfred Naro, who has confirmed that he is running for New Zealand First in the upcoming election. Now, it wasn't a straight National to New Zealand First, as in the last election 3 years ago, he ran as the leader of the New Zealand Party, which secured 0.5% of the vote. But he is not the only former National member to join New Zealand First. There's also Harete Hupango, who was a National MP and most recently contested in 2023 in the Māori election of Titai Hoaru, which could absolutely push more national aligned voters to consider voting for New Zealand First instead of National. Now that leads us to the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video and all the other videos I've been putting out. As we head towards what will seemingly be an increasingly close election, while also a very interesting election, given the push for New Zealand First and the waning popularity of National, you'll want to make sure to stay up to date, so feel free to give this video a like and subscribe so that you can be fully updated with everything that is going to be happening from today right up until the election in November. So once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.